He climbed the creaking carpeted stairs and flicked on the hall light and waited. No sound. A gust of air along the roof. He crossed to the bathroom. He imagined he'd find her hunched by the toilet, throwing up, eyes sunken in cups of livid shadow, or standing in front of the mirror, starving thin, like a crumpled paper doll. But she wasn't there. Bathroom empty. Rose-pink porcelain. Octagon tile, dingy white. He thought of her lying somewhere outside in her nightgown with the life seeping out of her into the frigid snow. Stop it, he said to himself. She's okay. Somebody came and got her, and maybe took her to the store, that's all. But this was a lie. Of course it was. He left the bathroom and stared at the closed door at the end of the hall, and that door got bigger as he looked at it. Only one room left in the house, and she wouldn't be in there. No, she never went in that bedroom, not since they came in the night and pulled Dad from his bed with both of them still in it and hauled him away. No, that room was a grave, and she wouldn't go in. He put his hand on the doorknob and turned it. She was hanging from the ceiling fan. A belt was coiled around the fan's down rod and cinched around her throat. One of her frail hands twitched. He tore to her and raised her up by her legs, but she was limp all over. Beneath her lay a wooden chair on its side. He let her go and shoved the chair up and stood on it and lifted her, but her head lolled forward. Her eyes didn't blink. Oh, God. He yanked on the belt and the fan shuddered. Plaster dusted his face. Please, he thought. Oh, dear God, please. He lurched down and rattled through the dresser and found Dad's hunting knife and unfolded the blade and got on the chair and hacked at the leather, slashed the strap, found a notch and saw. Damn it. Oh, damn it. Damn. When the leather broke, he caught her by the waist, but she fell sideways out of his arms and thumped to the floor. The chair tipped and sent him sprawling. He dropped the knife. He crawled to her and turned her over. She lay there in the dull goose-flesh light with her face blank and little specks of blood in her open eyes, her hair fallen over, a lump of bone knobs on the green shag carpet, one slipper on her foot and dried drool on her chin. Such quiet. He stood and hit the wall with his fist. There wasn't any force in the first hit, but the second time he scraped his knuckles on the drywall so they bled. Noise shook him. Broken sounds of hurt and shuddering breath. He sat by her on the floor. He touched her hand and held it. He just sat by her. When the window darkened and the cold crept through the walls, he straightened and gathered her up. She couldn't have weighed more than 100 pounds, but she was heavy. He got her to the bed and laid her there and then just stood looking at her. Shadows pooling violet on her skin, her yellow hair. He closed her eyes and straightened her nightgown down around her legs. He folded her arms. He found her other slipper on the carpet and put it on her foot and sat by her on the bed. He sat there a long time. He locked the bedroom door and washed his face, and then he went downstairs and got a fire going in the stove. The cold kept coming, and now the night, too. He threw the pill bottle in the garbage and opened the cupboard by the sink and got out the yellow Tupperware bowl. He pulled off the lid and counted the money inside. $15.36. He counted it again. Yep, right the first time. He rubbed his eyes with the heel of his hand and opened the pantry door. Half-full sack of potatoes. A couple jars, beans, and peaches. Canister of sugar, almost empty. The potatoes were good Idaho russets from Mrs. Browning. He took 3 and washed them and cut them up. In a fry pan, he melted a pat of shortening and then dropped the potato pieces in. His heart stitched pain in his chest, and he ignored it. The front door squeaked open, and Mattie clattered inside. Stomping snow, bright cheeks, damp wool hat pulled down to his eyes, and coat zipped up to cover his chin. The coat had